What's up, guys? Alex Kazor from SteelersDepot.com bringing you another edition of Chalk Talk. Again, getting to break down a win this time, the Pittsburgh Steelers 30-23 victory over the Houston Texans on Monday night. And we're going to start here. We're going to break down Le'Veon Bell's 2-yard touchdown and that crazy barrage of touchdowns at the end of the half. Break down the 2-yard touchdown again by Le'Veon Bell. Pretty simple concept here, but it has an extra layer that goes back to film study and really can be attributed to, I think, Todd Haley being able to call the correct play at the correct time. Formationally, we can get 3-by-1 out of 11 personnel, 3-by-1 over here, with Antonio Brown being to the weak side on the numbers, so it's a fairly tight split. It's a little harder to show on the whiteboard than it is on the field. We'll get the picture up actually right now of what the personnel was whenever the Steelers broke the huddle. What you're going to have, though, the only extra element to the play is Le'Veon Bell is going to motion out wide next to Antonio Brown. And there's a blown coverage, miscommunication by Houston, and it's going to leave Le'Veon Bell open, and then Ben Roethlisberger just throws a little back shoulder fade to a wide-open Le'Veon Bell, 2-yard touchdown, Steelers back on the board. Now, they ran this play for a couple different reasons, I think, because there's two key elements we have to identify here. The Steelers were having trouble in the red zone. So the best way to improve in the red zone and improve on your success is to exploit weaknesses of the other team situationally. And looking back at the Colts tape, Houston playing the Colts the week prior, you saw some serious issues with Houston in the red zone. And I think the Steelers exploit both of them here. We're going to start going back to the last week's the Texans-Colts game. We're going to start with Ahmad Bradshaw's 5-yard touchdown. And it's going to be a similar personnel. We're going to put the picture up now. We're going to get a 3-by-1 look, and you're going to get Bradshaw leaking out into the flat. Now, the thing I want you to watch here in the picture might be a little tough to see in a still shot, but I think you can still tell, is DJ Swearinger, number 36, and Brian Cushing, who I have highlighted here. You see Swearinger trying to point and call out to Cushing to cover Bradshaw, to cover that flat. Even to the point where Swearinger's yelling at him, and then he finally runs up and taps him as the ball's being snapped. Cushing probably a little late getting over to the flat. It's a pitch and catch from Luck to Bradshaw for the touchdown. So that's one thing we want to identify here. Some miscommunication issues just coming out of the huddle without any sort of other motion or anything like that. So just in general, you saw an issue there with Brian Cushing. Now the other thing we want to look at is Houston dealing with motion, because that was something I pointed out in my scouting report, and it led to another touchdown in the red zone down around the 5-yard line for the Indianapolis Colts. So we're going to draw it up on the board here, and so they're going to start Indianapolis will in kind of a pistol look with Dwayne Allen, the tight end, sidecar to Luck, Bradshaw in the backfield. It's actually an unbalanced line. They bring in an extra lineman, and then you're going to have it's a heavy set Kobe Fleener the Y, and then Reggie Wayne in a nasty split. This is how the Colts break the huddle, and we'll put the picture up right now. And what you're going to get motion-wise is you're going to get Reggie Wayne coming across the formation. You're going to have Dwayne Allen, the tight end, motion from out of the backfield to basically become that number 2. And then Kobe Fleener kind of stands up and is playing that Y kind of move, just a real nasty split. Takes about a step over, about a yard over. Again, you can see some miscommunication from Houston, guys trying to get on the same page, guys trying to check with the formation. And they have trouble with that, and Fleener ends up running a little stop and go, and is open in the back of the end zone for another 6. So you have two elements at play that you've seen issues with Houston in the red zone. One, you've had miscommunication between Swearinger and Cushing. And then 2, dealing with motion, Houston has trouble checking to it. And you see kind of both at play here. You have Bell motion out. Cushing is late picking him up. You have miscommunication. I'll put it back up. You can see Cushing trying to call out to Swearinger, you have him, and it kind of goes back and forth, and Swearinger tries to get out there last second, and it's too late at that point. It becomes pitch and catch. And again, part of that is because who's got assignment on the back, who's got flat responsibility, and dealing with motion as well. So both components in play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it turns into 6 points. And I really attribute that to Todd Haley. I love the film study. It's hard to quantify and mark the traits of a good offensive coordinator, and whenever an offensive coordinator's film study comes into play, how do you define and separate that game plan with execution? But I think on this play, with the motion and going back to what we saw with Houston last week and how they got hurt in the red zone and giving the Steelers red zone woes. This is a great play call by Todd Haley, and it leads to 6 points for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to follow Dave Bryan's, Matthew Marcy's stuff. Great stuff all week long as we get you ready to play the Indianapolis Colts this Sunday.